Welcome to another great episode of Sergeant to CEO's Business and Bourbon, where the bourbon is optional. I'm your host, Will Marcus, the owner and sole proprietor of Sergeant to CEO Presents Bourbon and Business. Today, I have the pleasure of interviewing the powerhouse. They're shaking up the food industry in the DMV. Is none other than Chef Darrius Dickens and Dr. Wakeena Dickens. Now, before I introduce them and let them see you guys see who they are, I'm gonna give a quick bio and introduction. So, Chef Darrius is the executive chef and co-owner of Down Home Comfort Cafe. He's a culinary artist and he's a flavor innovator. Chef Darrius is the executive chef and culinary genius behind Down Home Comfort Cafe. With classical trainings from Lincoln Culinary Institute, he's built a diverse portfolio that blends Italian, New Orleans, Southern dishes, and global flavors into a signature New Age cuisine. From catering elegant affairs to judging culinary competitions, Chef Darrius is known for turning high quality, fresh ingredients into unforgettable dishes. His passion for food was born in his Washington, D.C. childhood kitchen, and it now fuels a growing culinary empire alongside his wife and business partner, Dr. Wakeena. Whether he's crafting soul food classics or pushing creative culinary boundaries, Chef Darrius delivers dishes and experiences that feed both body and soul. Now, the second half to this powerhouse is none other than Dr. Wakeena Dickens. She's the CEO and co-owner of Down Home Comfort Cafe, an Army veteran, and a business strategist. Dr. Wakeena Dickens is the dynamic CEO and co-owner of Down Home Comfort Cafe in Woodbridge, Virginia, a soulful, cozy eatery serving up comfort food with heart. With over 25 years of leadership experience in project management, logistics, healthcare consulting, and business development, she brings a powerhouse of skills in both boardroom and community. A proud Army veteran of Operation Enduring Freedom and post 9/11 service, Dr. Dickens has seamlessly transitioned from military life to, to many leadership positions, spanning over a total of 20 years in healthcare administration and technology industry. Since co-founding the business with her husband, she's helped grow it from a shared kitchen space to a thriving brick-and-mortar destination known for its grandma's cooking vibes. She's also a member of the greatest sorority in the world, none other than Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated. She's a Diamond Life member and a graduate of the Syracuse University's VWAS program and the Georgetown University Dog Tag Business Fellowship program. I present to you no other Chef Darrius and Dr. Wakeena Dickens. How y'all doing today?
We're good. How are you?
Oh, thank you.
I'm all good. I can't complain. I appreciate you guys coming on the show today.
Thank you for
This is
inviting us.
amazing. No. It's my pleasure. So we have a lot to unpack this episode. You guys are actually the first couple I'm interviewing, which is amazing. So we have a whole new perspective that we can bring here. And it's very exciting because I think I met you guys probably over like 2 years ago, maybe now. It's going on 2 years. And I've been able to get some of that catfish and grits and shrimp and grits and the chicken and everything's amazing over there. So you guys are amazing. So to start this off, can we get a little quick origin story? Like I've read your bios. Let's jump into the origin story. How did the cafe come about? If you guys want to talk about how y'all came about, how y'all found love or anything, tell the visit. Tell the guests how did this come about and everything.
So, wow, the cafe was born after the shared kitchen space, which you mentioned. Bon Manger Cuisine is our parent company. Bon Manger Cuisine was founded in 2000, actually legally 2017, but Chef came up with Bon Manger Cuisine before we were married. So we structured everything. Had catering services out of Bon Manger Cuisine, and then it landed us inside of a food hall. And we were in the food hall for about a couple of years, and we kind of noticed that soul food was the most requested thing asked, which was not on our menu. We predominantly had New Orleans food. So with that knowledge and information, the customers kind of did our market research for us for those 2 years. Chef rode with the idea of coming up with a soul food restaurant. We landed on a space unexpectedly, and we just took it from there. Everything just came together seamlessly.
Wow. Okay. So let's talk about that share space, because I guess you guys have like the share space and then you grew into having your own private brick and mortar. What was that like? Like, were you guys like the head of the share space, or was it someone else's like idea of a share space, or how did that work?
So it was the same thing as a food court in a mall, except there's no mall. So basically, we weren't the head, but we were partners with the rest of the different culinary stations. So
Mm-hmm.
while our niche was New Orleans cuisine, you had other people who had you had kebabs, you had a sushi spot, you had Jamaican food, you had all these different foods. So we shared a common kitchen while we still had our own space where we actually sold our food.
Okay. So with that transition, I think one of the big things is like the challenges you may face with that. So let's talk about like some of the challenges that you have with business and like making that transition from the shared space to your own private brick and mortar, because I know they say like the food industry is one of the craziest industries to get in. And
Yes,
sometimes it can be one of the most like, I don't know, but it's like on a curve. It goes up, it goes
yes,
down, it's
yes.
very, can't really call it. So give us some of those challenges and how
Okay.
you guys overcame them.
So one of the advantages that we had of going inside of a food hall as opposed to going straight into a brick and mortar, we were able to experience the challenges on a smaller scale. So one of the biggest lessons you can ever get in a business, or especially in the food business, is actually failure. But failure can be very expensive. It can be very expensive. So with the food hall, well, actually not just the food hall, but with selling food in general, with owning a restaurant, owning a catering business, the profit margins can be real tight. You have to balance the food costs. You have to balance your overhead costs. You have to balance your payroll. You have to all the other, overhead that you can incur with linen, linen cleaning and different cleaning supplies and cleaning services, all your maintenance, those things they all cost. And so with having a food hall with someone who actually is over top of those things, you can monitor how those things will work before you get your own brick and mortar. So you won't, instead of going into a brick and mortar, not realize how expensive those things can be. Now you can see from a, inside perspective of what it's actually like. There's a pro and cons for all of that. So of course, with the pro is you can make mistakes on a much less expensive basis. But one of the cons is if you're inside a food hall, you really don't own everything. You really have somebody over top of you. You have to get permission for what you want to put on your
Menu.
menu and things like
Mm.
that. So it's not as glamorous as you think it would be. And then there's also a perspective of a chef like me and our business. We're more of an upscale, higher end type business. But then by us being inside of a food hall, they can think that our food isn't as it can downgrade our niche, so to say. You know what I'm saying? So there are pros and cons, but the way we did it, everything worked out perfectly because we were able to work out things before we opened up our brick and mortar.
Mm. Okay. That's nice. So let me ask you this, because under the brick and mortar and then the share space, did you guys still have that same vision, like who you wanted to serve, how you want to serve them, just like everything about your business, or has it transitioned in those two spaces?
That was another benefit of us being inside of a food hall. We
Hmm.
had an idea of who our customers were. But once we got in, we realized actually it doesn't work out that way. So we were able to see what it is, who we needed to market to, what we needed to do to get to market to our customers. Because one of the things that we thought is, well, everybody's our customer.
Yeah.
We're selling food. Everybody likes to eat. We didn't realize there are different types of customers. You got the customers who don't want to spend any money at all, but they want the top end everything, you know. And then you got those who want to big gigantic portions of everything, but didn't want to pay. So it's like you have to know who your customer is, because if you don't, you can get beat up a lot by negative comments, by people's opinions and things like that. But but you have to realize this is your business. So no matter what anybody else's opinion is, this is how you run your business, and you have to be strong on it.
Yeah, I agree with that. And that definitely, in any industry, you can see that. But that also leads me to a great segue, because in the beginning, I usually introduce this because this is Business and Bourbon. So, are you guys into bourbon or any type of drinks? Because bourbon is very similar to clients. It's different types of bourbon. Every bourbon is not for everybody. You can have different flavor profiles. So, what are you guys into that or no?
So I'm not a bourbon drinker. I'm more of a wine person. And Chef doesn't drink.
I don't drink at all.
Okay, well that's fine. And actually today,
Yeah, I think as we grow, we'll add that to the menu. Right now, we do have beer and wine. With the we do have a full liquor license, but right now, we're managing beer.
okay, that would be nice to add that to the menu and definitely
Yes.
expand it. I will say I'm not drinking tonight because this is during finals week, so I'm definitely like I'm trying to finish these finals and everything, So it's okay. We'll catch you next time. I have a bottle of water, and then once you guys expand the bar, I'll be able to come down and have a drink with you guys, and we'll
Yes,
be able to
indeed.
talk business more.
That's what we want.
For sure. So now let's talk about some guidance. Imagine you setting up this business on the beginning of when you set the business up. What's some insight or some guidance you would tell yourself, just to make sure you get where you are now, or even better, like go past and far exceed where you at right now?
Ooh, mindset. Mindset is huge, because there is you can feel like the
You
lowest of
guys
the
cut
low,
out for
and
a
then the
second.
next
Can you
day
repeat
can
that
go
again?
up.
You cut out for a second. You said mindset, and then can you say it again?
Yeah, so mindset is probably my number one thing. I try to manage that daily. So one day you can be thriving really, really well. You have a lot of highs, and then the next day can be a lot of lows. Business is just up and down, up and down. So you have to have, for sure, a strong mindset from inception to the middle to growth to scaling, all the way beyond. You're going to need it in every phase of business.
Okay. So let's talk about that, because actually I know that you said like you're like, I guess, the strategic planner behind the business and stuff like that. What are some points that you've used as an entrepreneur, as a beginning entrepreneur? Because we've been through, I got my EBV shirt on, but I know you did VWise with
Yes.
the IMVF. So what are some concepts or some tools that you've kept and you used to actually expand your business in a strategic standpoint?
So the number one thing is actually knowing the problem that you're solving. When we went into the first space, the shared space, like my husband said, oh, we're feeding everybody, but it didn't quite work out like that. So we had an opportunity to evolve that problem statement into more of a specific niche of people that we're directing our business toward. So definitely, solving the problem. I believe we're the only brick and mortar soul food place in Prince William County. So that's one tool. I definitely mentioned mindset. So that comes along with meditation and getting quiet. Plugging into your source of who's giving guidance and direction. Those are the two bigger ones, and then we're getting into the more down in the weeds of things, but those are the two broad areas that are two important tools.
Okay. Now, I think this next question also has to do with strategic planning, but it's more towards the social media and something that's even a bonus, because I've seen that you've got your kids involved in your business and with your entrepreneurship escapades and, feats. How are you merging the family into the business? And then what are some what are some things you can give to some people that have a family and want to get their family involved into their business and teaching them how to become those successful entrepreneurs?
Well, all three of the kids are actually working for the business. I got the two sons, they're chefs under me, of course. And then the daughter, she's in charge of the TikTok marketing, at least for my personal page. Because what we, as far as strategy, what we've, seen is that having more than one viewpoint works. So that's why we have the business page. She has her Dr. Wakeena page, and I have my Chef Darrius page. And that way you get three separate viewpoints that may attract other people, because some advertisements attract me but doesn't attract my wife. And then some advertisements attract her and doesn't attract me. So how about getting various viewpoints? Everybody, not everybody, but most people can be drawn in from the different viewpoints. And so that's one of the things that with my daughter, she was able to come in and take over like my personal page, while Dr. Wakeena runs the business page as well as her own page. And so therefore all different viewpoints are being satisfied.
Okay. Yeah, that's definitely a creative way to do that. So let me ask you, were your children more receptive to just coming in, or did you guys kind of groom them to actually working?
It was easy. It
They
was
said, I want
not.
allowance. I need some money. I'm gonna come work. No, definitely. I think getting children started in entrepreneurship at a young age is like very key and like eventually setting up to be entrepreneurs in the future. I remember back when I was a child, leaving like middle school, elementary school, my parents had a janitorial service business and they used to clean like big like shell factories and stuff like that, like big factories and stuff. And I used to go and my dad would be like, just go clean all the offices and you'll get your whatever you want afterwards. So I go empty the little trash cans, hurry up, throw them. And then as soon as I leave, I'm ready to get all my snacks, my food and everything. And I'm like, I'm good. And then now it's like that entrepreneur spirit has never left me. It's like in any and everything that I do, it's like I hustle. I try to find a way to make an entrepreneurial like journey out of it. Cause like at the end of the day, entrepreneurship is kind of like a game in a sense.
Yeah.
And with that game, we kind of like start developing like, okay, I'm leveling up. Now I have this asset, I done leveled up again and everything. So it's just really cool. So I think that's really dope that you guys get the kids involved and everything.
Thank you. Thank you.
So I think the next question I have to ask is like running a business, it often teaches you things that you never expected. So what's one personal transformation that you've experienced since becoming an entrepreneur?
The unexpected, huh?
I got one. Okay.
I got one.
I learned that good food is not enough. I can cook. My food is delicious. It's not enough.
Well, now, when you say it's not enough, what do you mean by that?
That's what I'm about to break down.
Okay.
It's if you don't have the energy, in other words, the positive energy, if you don't have good positive energy that attracts your audience, your good food is not enough. There are plenty of places, there are plenty of restaurants who weren't able to make it and their food was delicious. There are plenty of times that we all have experienced some place that we really liked their food and they closed down. But the reason that they closed down is various reasons. But one of the things that was needed the most is confidence in yourself, not just your food. You know your food is good. That's why you opened up a restaurant in the first place. But you got to have confidence in yourself that you will succeed. If you put out an energy that it might make it and it might not, then you're allowing too much of a possibility for it to be a failure. And this is with any business. This isn't just a restaurant business. It's in any business. I don't care if you want to sell rubber bands. If you feel that your rubber bands might not sell that good, or you could do, if you allow any possibility that is not going to work, then you're allowing too much of that negative energy into your business. You need to go about it with the energy that I'm going to attract as many people as I can to buy these rubber bands. And trust me, the universe will send you those people. You will not have an issue. And so that's one of the biggest things I learned. It is not just about the food, but it's about us. So we have to attract the customers to us. And then they get the blessing with the food because my food is good.
Okay. So let me ask you this: with attracting that customer, what's the formula that goes into that? Like, what all plays into that? Of course, you say a high energy, but like,
Hmm.
what else? Like, do you have to be interpersonal with your customer,
Yeah.
or what are some of the things that kind of play into making that perfect formula to make sure those customers become returning customers? Because that's how businesses survive.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So front of the house, that's me. So and what I drill into front of the house is the culture of Down Home Comfort Cafe. So the experience has to match the food from walking through the front of the door. You appeal all five senses in business: sight, taste, smell, seeing everything, the aesthetic, and then the interaction, the human interaction with, the guest experience. And so we have to meet the customer expectation by creating the holistic experience when they walk through the door, which is a comforting, soul food kind of vibe. You can hear the
Mhm.
music going, you can smell the candle, the crumble, you can see the aesthetics on the wall. So it's a feeling, it's a cozy energy, it's a warm and loving energy that first we have to create in order
Mhm.
to, get that out there to our customers and then pass that on to our employees as well, our staff, who we consider as family, and then they can pass it on to our customers. And so, I mean, that's pretty much the formula. So you have to be able to know how to bottle that up, which is a unique thing, between owners and staff that you have to trickle down to your customers.
Okay, that's nice. That's a very creative and open way to present it because, like, as we can see, a lot of businesses like that front of house, like welcoming experience, definitely like predicts and like if that person will be returning. Like a
Right.
person
Yes.
can have, and I know you guys don't do no bad food over there, but a person can have a great experience, but the meal might not have been that good. And you know what they say? I enjoyed it there, so I'm gonna return. I'm gonna go back and see them, and I'm gonna actually just be with them as
Mhm.
they keep developing and improving what they're doing. Compared to somebody that's like, oh, that food was great,
Yeah.
but when I walked in, that
Right.
service was not immaculate.
Right.
I would
Absolutely.
never, I would
Right.
never return back. So that's definitely a good way to put it. And I think with every service, not just the hospitality, giving food stuff like that, you have to be very hospitable when you meet people. You gotta make sure from the beginning to the end of that service, it's immaculate, and it's like, oh my gosh, I gotta go back. I just got to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Okay. So let's take a little switch. Okay. We're going to go into like mentoring. Imagine you had somebody that was shadowing you guys for a day. It's a young entrepreneur. What's one lesson that you would drill into their head before they leave you for the day? Like, what's one thing? Like, you got to get this.
Always might be different. I know the main thing that I want if someone shadows me as a chef is to
Mm-hmm.
have fun.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes business, you know, cook being a chef, cooking and running a business are two separate things. You have to think all the time. So sometimes when you're thinking and solving a problem, you can become too serious and the fun can dissipate. The main thing that I'm telling everybody, have fun. Don't forget the fun part. Have fun, and then everything else will work itself out. Because
Okay.
people can tell whether or not you're having fun or whether you're stressed out, and it'll stress them out and stuff like that. Have fun.
Okay. And
And
Doc,
mine would be
what's
just
yours be?
be open.
Okay.
Be open to experiencing new learning opportunities, hands-on tasks. I'm a very hands-on type of person. Just be open-minded to folks pouring into you. And I like to pass people along to different areas. So if you're going to be in the kitchen and you're going to come in the front, then you're going to go to a networking event with me, so just, the overall experience of mentorship. And then don't be afraid to fail.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Failure is a
Those
part of it.
days.
Failure is one of the biggest ways to learn. And if
Mm-hmm.
you want to have everything perfect, how are you going to learn?
Mm-hmm.
If you don't let your
Mhm.
perfectionism step in the way of you being great.
Mm-hmm.
Be okay with making mistakes.
For sure.
Definitely. I think in every business that I have, I've accepted the motto that I don't accept failures, I accept lessons.
There you go.
Because
Exactly.
those failures are lessons.
They are
And out
lessons.
of that lesson, you birth something amazing. I forgot
Yep.
who I was reading, but it might have been like, even with Sam Walton, I'm using Sam Walton, for example, all his failures ultimately led to Walmart, which is like one of the biggest
Right.
businesses out. They shut down Kmart, they shut down other super centers, and like ultimately all his failures led up to that. So those lessons is what really births the perfect business for your customer.
For sure.
Yes.
So
I think
definitely.
people see the end result of where we are now. It's not even the end result. We're still growing, but they don't see all the micro lessons.
Yep.
And the late nights trying to be, oh my God. they don't see that part. They just see the end result. So yeah, definitely.
The glamour.
Absolutely.
Yes. They see the glamour, but that definitely behind closed doors, that's when you got the sleeves rolled up, sweating,
brain smoking.
Brain is all overload. You like, I just don't know, but definitely. So while we're talking about overload, I think I want to kind of navigate our conversation to being a healthy entrepreneur, being a healthy business owner. Spiritual and physical health are big components in being successful. Like, you got to know when to unplug so you can recharge and give your full self. What are some things that both of you do as entrepreneurs to be able to tap into your spiritual and physical health to recharge?
Personally, we recharge different. So I need time away, not away, but I'm talking about mentally. I need time away from the business where I'm thinking about nothing. I'm just scrolling the phone on social media. I'm not solving any problem with how much chicken do I need to buy tomorrow, how much, shrimp was left from the previous, I just need to scroll and look at anime, look at One Piece or something, I'm saying, Naruto or something like that. I need time away, and I'm blessed that my wife notices that and acknowledges that. And so, because one of the things is owning a business, you're open all the time. So people don't, the time that I would like to be left alone, people are hitting you. Hey, I got this catering job. Can you do this? Can you give me this quote for this? Or tomorrow, I can't make it in tomorrow because, such and such. There is no business out. There is no, 9 to 5 for us. And so my wife I'm blessed that she's able to see that, and she'll not press me out to answer somebody's question because she knows I really need to unplug, because mental toll that running a business can take on you can overpower you if you let it. So you have to unplug no matter what. You have to be okay with telling someone no, or telling them I'll answer you tomorrow, because you have to you have to look out for you as well. And if a person doesn't want to at least give me one day to be away, then that's not my customer. They don't respect my time. But I need to like unplug totally and just have mindless time where I'm not solving a problem. I'm just scrolling on my phone. I'm just watching a cartoon or something like that. That's how I'm able to recover.
And what about you, Doc? How do you recharge?
So I'm so task oriented. It feels like if I'm sitting too long, I'll start to go crazy. So I'll take my recharge every day. So I'll get up and I'll work out, and I'll have breaks during the day. And then I'm at it all day long, probably until I go to bed. But I have those mini breaks in between. Because there's something going on every single day of the business. Like you said, we close on Mondays, but that's the brick and mortar. You still got payroll, you still got HR actions, you got IT. I'm locked out. You got all of the back end catering requests, social media marketing, all of that to work out when the brick and mortar's closed and during those operational hours. So when people say, I didn't see you at the cafe, I'm like, I'm working. But yeah, definitely, working out, prayer, meditation, definitely all day. I do my plug-in that way. I read. Yeah. So I walk. Walking is my jam. I got to walk at least 4 miles when I do my walks. And that helps me get grounded as well.
That's great. Now, I think I have to ask this question before you guys get off because you guys have a very unique perspective to business. It's like you guys have marriage and business, which might be podcast or some you guys can put out. I'm forecasting. I don't know if y'all want to do it, but what are some like tips you can give to entrepreneurs that are a power couple, like they might be married or they might be dating, but they also want to do business together? Because I know a lot of times people say you don't let business and your personal life clash and stuff like that because sometimes it gets a little muddy and stuff like that. So what are some things that you can give as advice in that arena?
You definitely have to take care of the marriage first. You have to be
Mhm.
compatible and have that agreement and understanding in the marriage first before you even go out there in business. You have to have the temperament for it. You can have two alphas, but of the business, but you have to be able to know one another, know
Mhm.
where the pressure points are, back off, go, the compromising. So you have to have that mutual respect. You cannot go in trying to change each other. He has I respect his gift, his craft. He does the food. You're not gonna find me in there doing the food, admin, paperwork, back office stuff, strategy. That's and so we respect, each other's abilities and talents and gifts in the business as well in the marriage. So it's that you got to have that mutual respect. You got to have that understanding. And like my husband said, you got to be able to have fun and joke. We joke and play around and make fun and poke at each other as well. So you got to have that playfulness
Mhm.
in the marriage and in business.
Okay. Chef Darius, you gonna weigh in, or did the missus
I
lay it all out?
am 100% like she basically nailed it. You got to have the couple themselves has to be together. This is just my opinion. I'm not having, what's the word, surveyed every couple ever. But I think one of the problems that people may have with working with their significant other is actually the same problem that they have in the house. Somebody's too strong-willed, or they have to have their way. They don't understand. If they can't understand why a person wants to do something that way, it bothers them. Whereas in our marriage, I let my wife be my wife. I didn't marry Darius. I married Wakeena. So
Mhm.
I trust her. So even though I may not understand something, I'll let her know that I may not understand it, but I'm not forcing her to think how I think. If it's not that serious, it's not that serious. And sometimes we can make things more serious than what it is. If it's different if, let's say, she wants to do something and I've already had the experience and like, this isn't how we should do it, then that's different. But I'm talking about if it's like something we want to do, neither one of us had the experience, and she wants to do something a certain way. All right, okay, cool. We both have our opinions of what might work, but neither one of us know until somebody tries something. So I think I know you have to respect, your significant other. You have to respect your partner, and you have to trust your partner. Let your partner do what your partner, what they're supposed to do, and just have fun. Just have fun. It's okay even if your partner made a mistake. It's a mistake, and everybody learns. What's wrong with mistakes? There's nothing wrong with it. So, yep.
And
That's
you definitely need your separation time too. So it may look like we're up under each other 24/7.
Mm-hmm.
But he's been to Pittsburgh
Mm-hmm.
to a game. I done went on a trip. So you have to have your individual lives as well with friends and family, and
Mhm.
then be able to also come together. That's important.
Add to the gems. Y'all just dropped the bars for the power couple. If y'all want to be the powerhouse, y'all just heard it live here. That's how y'all make the business and marriage succeed. All right. Now, entrepreneurship, right? It isn't just about making money. It's also about making impact. So, what's one of the most meaningful projects or events that you've been a part of that reminded you that's your why? This is why I'm doing this, or one of your customers, or anything, an interaction with a customer, or
So we have a lot of experience with our local community, and we're plugged into to all types of groups. Of course, my sorority, Sigma Theta sorority. I had an opportunity to go out and talk to young teenage girls who were interested not only in entrepreneurship, but also maybe just cooking, or, I want to do something as far as running a business. So plugging in, giving that mentorship, giving presentations, having them sample the food, that definitely is, giving back to the younger generation. Then I also have the veteran group plugging into that segment. We catered events there for networking event, had an opportunity to meet other branches of the military within that space. We also plugged into the the political realm. So any way that we connect food with community, with family is definitely baseline. Definitely got to take care of the family and legacy as well.
I've had the pleasure to be a judge for several food competitions, dealing with teenagers, dealing with the NAACP's division of AXO. And so seeing, the youth who has a desire to be chefs in the future, and I get to give them some guidance, really means a lot. I also get called into high schools to be guest chefs for the day, to be a guest chef instructor for the day. So I love that. I also like the fact that in our own kitchen, the chefs that we have weren't trained chefs, but I was able to train them. They expressed a desire to, want to cook and want to be chefs. So I'm like, okay, well, this is how you do it. And so I love the fact that not everything has to be paid. Like a lot of people, you hear a lot about coaching now. There's a coach for everything, but they all charge. But I like the fact that we can say that we were able to mentor people. We're not charging anybody anything because we want to see everybody succeed. You being a chef doesn't make you my competition. Everybody can be a chef. Everybody can make money. It's enough money in this world for everybody. I cannot hog all the money. So why would I not want you to succeed? I want everybody to succeed. And that feels good.
Yeah. And we do have that growth within our own area. We've grown our managers up, all three of them that are there now. So whatever resources that we're plugged into and that we have, they have access to that as well. And we have a lot of experience and knowledge and resources and tools to pass down. So that's that constant mentorship as well. We always tell people if they come in, especially young teenagers or 20-something-year-olds that are in college, we know this is not the end all be all, but that high touch and that opportunity to mentor them, they may go and take that experience and do something, whether it's in the restaurant business or fashion or hair, whatever they want to do. They're learning from the beginning. Some of them is their first job. And so I've seen growth even within the last year one as she goes to her senior year. Just amazing. So yeah.
That's great. That just gave me a little chills a little bit. Inside that question or that answer that you guys gave me, it was a lot to unpack. But like the key thing that I wanted to focus on is like mentorship, passion, love, community, connecting, all those things. Your business came from passion, creativity, and love inside of a kitchen, something that we all have and we all can relate to. It's a lot of entrepreneurs out there that have like creative skills, but struggle to turn that into a full-time business. What are some like words of wisdom that you'll pass on to them for them to now, embody that entrepreneurial spirit and know that like they can do it? It's possible.
Would say you can do it, and you have to believe in yourself, but you need to believe in yourself all the way and be prepared. There's no sugarcoating and making it seem like everybody who's in the business makes $1 gazillion a week. It doesn't work that way. There is a grind. There are times when you have no idea where the money is going to come from. There are times the money is going to dry up, and then there's times when money is going to be plentiful. Having a business and it being 9 to 5, I That doesn't exist. That doesn't exist. You work 24/7. But it's not like that permanently. So another thing that is realistic is that you can have a passion for something, but running a business might not be what you like because of all the grind. So not everybody is meant to have a business. You have to understand, you may like to knit, hats or knit gloves, but running a business part might be something you can't stand. And that was me. I love to cook. I love to cater. I hated all the business part of it. Fortunately, this beautiful young lady right here came into my life who didn't have a problem with all that. So that worked out for me. It worked out for me, But yes, the realism is it is a grind as far as the business side, especially if you don't like the business side. Just be real with yourself. And if this is something you want to do, go all in and have fun doing it. Make yourself have fun. Don't allow the business to take over, because there were times it just took over me, or life just wasn't fun because everything was trying to figure out how to make money. Food is good, but where's the money coming from? So have fun, make yourself have fun, and believe in yourself. Get that energy, attract all of your customers, attract your clientele, and everything is going to be okay. Do not let your spirit present an opportunity for failure. That's all I can say. It starts on the inside.
Okay. So it starts from the inside.
Start from the
Gotta
inside.
marry you a wife that's gonna hold you down and take care of the front end. And listen, I'm not gonna lie, having a solid missus in business, she definitely gonna hold you together. I'm not gonna lie. My partner definitely holds me down. And when I'm feeling short and I feel like I'm going low, she be like, tighten up, get this together, come on.
There you go.
Get me all together. So definitely, I think that's a great
There's some
point.
areas that I don't, necessarily love either. I mean, compliance is I don't like compliance. I mean, you're talking taxes and audits and everything, but words of wisdom that I would give to people that I've learned from peers, which segue to, you have to make sure you're in alignment with the right people. So one of my people, who actually is the CEO of Virginia Black Chamber of Commerce, she said, Wakeena, you got to do the hard things first. Don't just do all the easy things in the beginning, because if you do that, by the end of the day, you're all tired out and everything. So I try to front load the things that I don't like to do first, and then, my day will get easier. I have more time to look forward to enjoy and breathe and do me things. So yeah.
Okay. Y'all dropped some gems. Y'all definitely dropped some gems this episode, and I definitely appreciate that. But I gotta put y'all in the hot seat. I know y'all feel like y'all been in the hot seat right now, but I'm putting y'all in the entrepreneurial hot seat now. I'm gonna ask y'all a few questions. And the object of this is just to have a rapid response. Whoever feels like they got the answer, they can give it out.
Oh boy.
But it's going to be about 4 to 5 questions.
Okay.
Y'all ready?
Yep.
Okay.
All right, let's get into it. So question number 1. If you had to describe your business philosophy in 3 words, what would they be?
Love, comfort, and good food.
I'll let y'all answer that one. That was 4, but it was I'll let you slide. I'll let y'all slide today. That's good. That's good. Okay. So now this is for Chef Darrius, and I'm gonna give you some time with this. We're gonna put you in a hypothetical situation. President Barack Obama is coming to the business. What meal are you presenting him? And you only get to present him one meal.
Easy. So I make a crawfish etouffee that there's no way he's not gonna like it. So it's gonna be a crawfish etouffee sided with a pecan pear salad, and I'll give him whatever. Since I don't drink, I don't know what kind of spirits will go with it, but whatever he desires, I will go with that. Yep.
Etouffee, I ain't never had etouffee. I'm not gonna lie.
Man, when I tell you that's one of the dishes that if somebody doesn't like it, I'm actually surprised. No matter what dishes is, somebody doesn't like it. That's one of those dishes I'm like, there's no way you don't like it.
I'm gonna whisper this right now. I think you guys need to have some special events, with a secret menu. I definitely like to try that. It sounds good. Okay. Listen, I'm with that too. Hey, listen, we definitely get it together. That sounds good. My stomach up here rumbling. All right, so next question. Y'all done threw me off a little bit because now I'm thinking about food. Question number 3. If you could have dinner with any entrepreneur, dead or alive, who would it be and why?
Okay. That's a good one. All right. I would want to have dinner with Bobby Flay.
The
I want to
chef
have dinner with,
himself.
yep, I would want to have dinner with Bobby Flay. I've met him, but I would love to just like have dinner and just pick his brain. And because he didn't graduate high school, but look at him now. So I would love to hear all the steps not all the steps, but just hear his ascension and things like that. That's for me personally. So.
Okay.
Mine is my soror Pinky Cole.
Okay.
And if she's seeing this, I've been
Definitely
watching you.
So I'm not gonna even think about it. I actually had the opportunity to listen to Pinky Cole, at Invest Fest last year, and she's very wise. She definitely has some skills on her. And then to the Bobby Flay point, I watched Bobby Flay growing up. I'm not.
Yeah.
Listen, I watched him on TV every day with my cousin after school. I just sit there and just be watching.
That man is inspiring. Yep.
He's definitely inspiring. So
he is right.
Those are both good answers. Listen, I got to give y'all some creativity points because I wouldn't have pulled either one of those, but definitely good people to listen to. If you had to start a new business today, this is question number 4. Yes, question number 4. If you had to start a new business today, what industry would you choose? And it can't be inside the food or hospitality industry.
Me, it'd be the hair industry because I need a bib for this beard. Every time I eat, everything drops in my beard. So I would invent something. Yeah, it would be the hair industry. Yeah.
Okay.
It's funny that you asked that question because I've been doodling this week, and it would be fashion and fitness.
Okay, fashion and fitness. Are you talking about like the clothes to wear to the gym, or what aspect of fashion and fitness?
So I'm in a specific and special group right now, and all my Perry women know what I'm talking about. And so we want to be able to look good. So fitness is a little bit more challenging as far as weight loss right now. And then you also want to have the clothes to match that. So it's a particular look for women of my age that we still want to feel, we want to have that vitality. We want to look good. We don't want to dress like we did in our 20s, but we have a more mature look, but distinguished look as well and healthy.
Okay. That's nice. Hey, might be a lane for you to jump in. I mean, I don't think the other fitness brands like Lululemon and everything like that is getting to there. So, hey, that definitely is an open space for that. So before we sign off, the last question for the Entrepreneur Hot Seat. What's one book, podcast, or resource every entrepreneur should check out?
That's a good one.
Let's see. I know what podcast you watch.
Name of that.
EYL. I love EYL. Yeah. That's names. I can't. It's definitely. It's gonna kill me to think of their names, but the names on. But Earn Your Leisure is definitely good. Is a good one, definitely. Would you say the same, Doc? Or
yeah. Okay. I mean, they have so many different people that come there. I enjoy the guests.
Definitely.
Yep.
Well, this was an amazing episode. That was a great way to close it out. I want to say that I appreciate you guys, and I appreciate the guests for sitting in on another great episode of Business and Bourbon, where the bourbon is optional. I hope you guys got some knowledge, some wisdom, and some great points from my 2 wonderful guests today. Make sure you tune into the next episode. And before we leave, let everybody know where they can find you. Instagram, social media, websites, all platforms. What is it?
So Down Home Comfort Cafe on Facebook and Google. DHC_cafe on TikTok and Instagram. And our website is dhccafe.com.
Okay. Do you guys want to give out the personals too as well, or just the business?
Definitely, you got to get Chef's personal.
I'm not gonna lie, that personal,
lighthearted one.
That TikTok is amazing. Listen, the TikTok is funny.
He's actually Woodbridge, famous right
everywhere
now.
I go in Woodbridge.
Listen, I think the best video that I've seen you drop so far is I think your daughter asked for a meal or something like that, or how much it's gonna cost, or something along the lines of that. And you was like, "You my daughter." She's like, "Oh yeah," and then she just walked out with it.
Yep, yep. But yeah, my
That's good.
personal page is Chef Darrius O, and that's on both TikTok and on Instagram.
Okay, well,
Yeah.
appreciate you guys.
All
Y'all
right.
heard it here live. Make sure you go check out the restaurant. It's amazing. Make sure y'all get the catfish. I mean, the grits, the shrimp and grits, catfish and grits.
Oh yeah.
Chicken
Tell
and
them I
waffles.
sent you. Chicken
There
and
you go.
waffles too. And tell them I sent you. We'll catch you next time. Peace.